Do you know your Azeroth from your Azkaban, your Frostwolf clan from your Direwolf Guardian, your Elwyn Forest from your Council of Elrond? If you picked out the Harry Potter, Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings comparisons from the Warcraft ones there, you're already ahead of the game, and no doubt a large chunk of the audience that director Duncan Jones and his team are targeting with this latest fantasy franchise attempt. And it puts you at a considerable advantage when it comes to one of the unavoidable challenges when trying to realize and orientate newcomers around a long-established complex fantasy world. Whereas J.K. Rowling, George R.R. Martin and J.R.R. Tolkien were able to build up their mythologies over many books and their screen adaptations across several hours of viewing, DZH Jones & Co. have the unenviable task of cramming a rambling, diffuse gaming multiverse into a standalone 2-hour epic and still lay the ground for potential sequels. No easy task when citadels named Ironforge and Stormwind might distract you with thoughts of 1970s heavy metal bands more than help you focus on a brand new Lord of the Rings. What's refreshing about Warcraft though is that despite the inevitable information dump, the emphasis from the very beginning is on its character. Some may overlook just how bold a move it is to kick off proceedings with an orc couple as prospective parents worrying about the fate of their clan and their newborn, and only after their journey begins do we meet the actual humans in the story. Naturally, the kingdom is perturbed to find signs of unwanted visitors, particularly those bearing the hallmarks of the Fel, dark, well, sort of green magic that warps its users as much as its victims and surroundings. A magic that a ruthless orc chieftain wields to seize Azeroth for his own. Unbelievably, it's not the quality of geographical visualization or creature characterization that weighs Warcraft down at first, it's the sheer quantity. We haven't even touched on Azeroth's tricksy guardian, the sorcerer's apprentice, a half-orc slave and a half a dozen more key players. Attempts to keep everyone in play and develop meaningful connections initially seemed to be defeating Jones and co-screenwriter Charles Leavitt. Additional factors like too much rumbling, echoey orc dialogue being too difficult to understand, or the pristine digital Azeroth vistas looking too much like a theme park version of its land rather than a lived-in world, don't help make the fantasy feel real either. Slowly but surely, however, Warcraft shifts from a CG-heavy experience you're watching to one you're actually immersed within. Other tech specs are suitably state-of-the-art, the orcs in particular move with impressively real heft and expressiveness, and Game of Thrones composer Ramin Djawadi underscores the action with rousing tribal rhythms. Like Christopher Nolan, Duncan Jones has gone from cerebral genre hit to slick thriller to major franchise opportunity, and he directs the combat scenes with assuredness but without quite reaching the rarefied heights of Peter Jackson or James Cameron. Jones's real strength, and you imagine his overall priority, is more personal than technical. The story is pretty simple at heart, but the heart teeming with frayed connections between parents and children, separated lovers, betrayed friends, beats ever stronger. The plot even does what Tolkien and Jackson conspicuously skimped on, which is to generally raise the stakes by killing off seemingly key characters. As a result, the climatic face-offs and cliffhangers have far more dramatic weight than you might have imagined, and game over actually means something here.